Good morning, my friends. I hope you enjoyed in your mindfulness practice the 7 advices of Rumi. There is much power in the metaphors he uses of soil and ocean and night, things we can really get a feel for in our bodies and mindfully carry with us. It's so interesting that as you come to know them, the different practices and different traditions, they all meet at one place. And that is a place of compassion and hope and joy, love and stillness in the presence of the powers that are much greater than ourselves. We're currently in the season of Advent in the calendar of the Christian Church, a season of waiting, of not knowing when or how, but knowing that something is coming. In fact, Advent comes from the Latin word that means coming. And it struck me as I thought about it today that we are in a state of Advent in our culture and our society right now, and probably in our internal life. We await the coming of whatever will be in our next stage of restoration, of health, leadership, troubled relationships, or something else. And most of us, at least if you're anything like me, are not very good at waiting. So the next meditations will focus through the lens of Advent on the practice of waiting in hope, in joy, in expectation, in the certainty of the presence of God in our daily lives, and the love between ourselves and between ourselves and all that is divine. So let us sit, becoming comfortable in your seated posture, feeling the support underneath you. Just notice that. Laying your hands gently in your lap and allowing on the next out-breath your eyes to gently close, your forehead to relax, your jaw to drop, and allowing that breath to go all the way out of your body until it is empty. And notice that and what it feels like as the next breath draws itself in, just like that. And on each out-breath, as you release everything to emptiness, and you wait for just a few moments before the next breath comes in. Even in the practice of mindful breathing, so many times I find myself not waiting, but drawing that breath in myself, rather than allowing it to draw itself in, or waiting to see when that would be coming. And so this is where we are now. We are in a cultural time and a spiritual time of Advent, learning the practice of waiting. Take some time right now to reflect on what it is like for you and what experiences you have had in the last several days or several weeks of waiting. What happens inside? Agitation, impatience, acceptance. Bring into your mind and your body what it is like for you to just wait, not knowing when that waiting is going to turn. Most of the time it's uncomfortable for us, isn't it? I know it's uncomfortable for me. I end up keeping my eye on where I'm trying to get to, instead of my eyes on what is present. The time of Advent is about not having to know exactly what is coming tomorrow. And in mindfulness practice, in not knowing exactly when that next breath will draw itself in. So as you breathe out your next out-breath, and empty yourself completely, and then a little more, wait until you notice that the breath is beginning to come in all by itself. It is in waiting and mindfully breathing, releasing our grip on thoughts, releasing our grip on doing, and practicing in that simple but not easy way, simply waiting and breathing. What an amazing way that is to simply be in the present. And so we turn to the meaning of Advent and the part of that meaning that is waiting. In that dry period of life when nothing seems to be enough, or when all things seem to be too much, or when something else beckons within us. It is the grace that Advent comes to bring. In the Christian tradition, Advent and waiting stand before us and within us, and point to the star over the manger in the Christmas story that tells us that the incarnation of God has come. Jesus was his name. Advent is the season where waiting comes into being, something new, something real, and something full of light. Advent stands before us, pointing to the star for which the wise ones from the East really are only icons of ourselves. Have you ever thought about it that way? So the question for mindfulness today is this: what is the star that you are following now? What is it you believe gives your life meaning and is coming? Where is that star and its present brightness in your life leading you? We all want something more. It's human nature. And many of us here are seeking, like the wise ones from the East, seeking the star over the newborn incarnation of God. Comes the question to take with you today, my friends. What is it for which you are spending your life? What is the star you are following, and where does it lead you? Are you quiet enough in your waiting that you can become mindfully aware by looking inward to see what it is that you are following and what it is for which you are spending your life, each moment, each day, each hour? That star that makes us look beyond today to the great tomorrow of life, the great coming, the waiting of Advent, and following that star of meaning that leads us. And like the waiting of that next breath to come in after emptiness, in mindfulness practice, we learn to experience and to know well that feeling of impatience. Learning to wait depends on us, to give our spirit and our soul room to grow. Take it with you, my friends, in faith. Take it with you, my friends. What is your star, and where is it leading you today? It's an interesting question. Namaste. Amen.